Excellent. So there we go. I recently spoke with Wojtek at Content.ai now, a separate company, of course, who told me about the whole split. That it was a long time coming, and it was very sort of well engineered from it wasn't a sort of a spur of the moment thing, right? It was something that sort of took time to happen. And anybody who wants to dig deeper into Content.ai splitting from Kentico in an amicable manner, of course, should go check out that interview with Wojtek from Content.ai. But just I want to get your views on it very, very quickly, Dominik. From your perspective and Kentico's perspective, why did you feel it was vital that split needed to happen? Was it sort of were the customers sort of asking for that, or sort of hinting that maybe better for them? Was it more of an internal thing? How did it come about?
Yeah. So thanks for that question. Actually, a couple points from my side to mention here. So first of all, our founder and former CEO Peter Palas really saw an opportunity in the market that we as Kentico, we are really targeting more mid-market or upper mid-market companies, which means that we are really at the edge between the mid-market and enterprise, and really we let's say work with the companies who might be really the biggest companies on the country level, or if this is the global company, let's say Fortune 500 company, then actually we work with them more on the departmental level or really on the branch level, while actually Content.ai is trying to work with these companies really on the global level and really trying to be core solution for them on the global basis. So we simply target slightly different customers or ICPs, ideal client profiles. So that's a first thing,
Okay.
because our value proposition with our DXP is that you have the platform which allows you to do a lot of things. There is content management, there is email marketing, personalization, marketing automation, and so on. While Content.ai really is headless CMS, and then you need other tools like MailChimp or Optimizely or anything like that for these other functionalities. So our value proposition is also slightly different. So
Right.
that's the second point. So that's the first reason that really we have slightly different value proposition. We target different segments, and I think that for the customers and for the community around Kentico, this has been always a little bit confusing, to be quite honest. So there were two products solving similar problems, but in different way for different audience, and they were both under the brand of Kentico. So that's one thing. And coming back to our founder, Peter Palas, he really realized that there is a market for both of these products, and that actually it's better to have them as two separate companies. There is also a second reason, and that's the, I would say, more internal reason, because we as Kentico, and formerly known as Kentico Experience division, as part of Kentico, we've been always healthy business. So we've been always profitable business, and basically parts of our profits also went to fund Content.ai, because originally Content.ai really was founded as an internal startup in 2015 within Kentico. So this split also allowed us to actually invest more into our future, because now Content.ai has this external funding, so their financial situation is solved through that, and that really allows us to also increase significantly investment into our products, marketing, services, and everything. So I would say that these were really two key reasons why we wanted to split the companies.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we've been working on that for many months. Because some potential investors or some companies we talked with, they really wanted to keep us together, which is not something what we wanted internally. So that's why we also took a little bit more time to really find the company or the fund which really would respect the way how we want to we really see ourselves and how we want to continue forward. And we found really great partner, Expedition Growth Capital.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, it makes a ton of sense to me. So as a standalone company now, what do the next 6 to 12 months look like? Are there any sort of immediate plans to do things differently than you may have done before?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So first plan is tightly connected to what I just have said, and that's really the increased or really ability to increase investment for us. So really we right now we are 140 size of the organization, and we are planning over the next 12 months to add additional 60 people, and really this split and the external funding allowed us to do that. So we really want to focus, let's say, on speeding up the innovation of our new platform. So actually a month ago, we just released our brand new product, which is called Experience by Kentico. And it's really flexible DXP platform, which is fully SaaS-based. And now we want to even speed up and adding more functionality and bringing more innovation into that product. And so we are increasing the investment of our R&D, so product management, development, and UX, by more than 60%. I think it's 65%, and overall we are adding a lot of new people across the board. So that's a first thing, that we are really hiring a lot of people. Then of course this is the new situation for all of us. I'm also kind of new guy as CEO for Kentico. So we also doing, let's say, a lot of the things related to setup as a kind of new company, because there are also some new leaders in our company and so on. So we are trying to make sure that everything is smooth in this new situation. And then ultimately we are preparing for further growth. So next 12 months for us is more like a preparation, really make sure that our new product, Experience by Kentico, is well accepted by the market. And then after that, there is actually that commitment from the investors to give us 20 million as well. So we basically took these 12 months to set everything and prepare ourselves for, I would say, more aggressive growth in the future. So after those initial 12 months, we will we plan to activate that committed investment, and then we put more into commercial part, marketing, sales, and this will allow us to grow more quickly in the upcoming years.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys utilize that extra funding. So that's awesome. Moving a bit now into sort of product. You guys put a lot of emphasis on being a marketer-friendly DXP on your website and your sort of marketing assets. How do you achieve that as a product?
Yes. I would say that 2 or 3 things which are really key to this. First of all, we really pay a lot of attention to user experience and customer experience. So we, over the last 2-3 years, we built very strong user experience team, and again, as part of the further investment into R&D, we are planning to bring a couple more UX designers. And with the new platform, we are basically redesigning all the flows, also changing the user interface and so on. So it's super friendly for all the business personas. So that's one thing. That's really that superior user experience. The second thing is really low-code, no-code approach. And while we really want to enable developers, and we in the new platform we support headless and capabilities like that, we also don't forget about the business personas. And we have many of these low-code approaches or tools within our platform. So, for example, our landing page builder or our form builder or email marketing builder or really the I would say in-browser ability to create marketing automation flows. So really, making sure that the business persona, digital marketeer, is not so reliant at all times on developers, and they can achieve a lot of things themselves through the browser and through these low-code, no-code approaches. As part of that, we also integrated many other platforms, like for example Zapier, which is really also low-code, no-code platform, which allows you to move the data within different systems, in very easy way. So that's really the, I would say, second thing. And then ultimately also really through the trainings, through the education of our community, of the market. So that's really the third thing which we try to invest a lot into, to make sure that whoever is using our platform has enough materials, documentation, trainings, and so on, to make sure that they understand the concepts and they can be really efficient with our platform.
Okay, excellent. I know Content.ai is obviously leading into AI more and more. It's part of the domain, and I also see it's on your roadmap, right? Kentico's roadmap. How do you plan to sort of integrate AI and ML more into your platform?
Yes. So first of all, let me say that when it comes to Kentico clients and customers and our community, these companies typically don't have really huge amount of data available, right? And anybody who is a little bit more, let's say, into AI and machine learning knows that actually you need quite a huge data set and really a lot of data for the algorithm first to learn how to, for example, do the categorization and so on. And only after that, these algorithms and this technology is really efficient and great for you. So the way how we do that is that, first of all, we are using other data sets, and we are integrating third-party platforms, like, for example, Microsoft Azure Cognitive Services, where you have really AI technology, which already learned on the data sets of other users of the platform. And from there, we, for example, use the text classification algorithms or sentiment analysis and things like that. And we simply integrate that into our platform. So that's a first thing. The other thing is really that we always look at what is practical, because with machine learning and AI, there are a lot of use cases which might be fancy and great to demo, but in reality they are not practical, or the technology is not there, or really there is no service which we can integrate with. So in those cases, we really are picking what really makes sense and what could be really practically leveraged, and where the technology is mature enough, right? So these are the things like this text classification, which I mentioned, or AI-based personalization. These are great examples which are helping also our ideal client profiles, and which could be leveraged, with our typical customer. So that's the approach which we take. There is also one more thing which I wanted to mention, and that's what we internally call IRA, which is artificial intelligence recommendation. And basically, this is kind of like a platform or framework inside of our new product, Experience by Kentico. And this is there really to help to proactively recommend people what to do with the system, what is the next step, and also, for example, to find some outliers within the system. So to give you some practical example, let's imagine that you have landing page, and that landing page you have some call to action there, and suddenly this landing page is mentioned by some prime news, let's say CNN.com, for example, right? And suddenly everything is great success for you, right? So normally somebody needs to tell you this, right? Or sometimes you know, after a week you realize actually that you got famous, right? And there are many ways how you can react to that, right? But systems today or platforms today are mostly not so proactive that they don't automatically detect these cases, right? So our ambition is to really have a system, or as I said, really the framework, which can notify you and proactively tell you, hey, something's going on, something is unusual, there is some outlier situation, some anomaly, you know, whether it's good or bad, you know, please check that out and please go and react. So this is something what we are building as we speak behind the scenes in the new product, and we have many use cases and many applications to the system. So I just mentioned a couple of these, but at the end of the day, for us, it's a lot about automation, about helping really, again, business personas, digital marketeers to simplify their workflow, be proactive, help them automate the things, because many of our clients are really like us, right? Like we are really fighting against much bigger companies in our space, and many of our clients are the same, right? And our budgets and everything are much more limited than compared to these like huge enterprises, right? So we need to be smart about how we do things. We need to automate, and that's really what we are trying to achieve also through the AI.
Okay, that was excellent. Thank you for that answer. Really insightful. Moving sort of away from your particular product and now sort of looking at the broader DXP industry. As the DXP industry grows, do you feel like it will become a case of whoever has the most integrations has the best platform in the DXP space, or do you think it will be a case of, you know, quality over quantity? How do you guys view that? Are you looking just to expand your integrations, or are you looking to make integrations better? That's probably a better question.
Yeah. So I think that there is really one big trend around the industry, and that's called composable DXP, right? So actually you have one solution, and let's say for the content management, and then you integrate that with email marketing, then with personalization, and you are building essentially your own DXP out of different components. This is a great approach, but it's also the most expensive approach. And you know, again, outside of these Fortune 100, or maybe outside of Fortune 500 on a global scale, other companies simply can't afford this approach, because like it takes you a lot of time, a lot of effort. You know, you need to deal with all of these different providers. You need to have developers inside who will be building all of these integrations and really putting all of this together. So I think that this trend really has its space, right? And many companies then are building also a lot of these integrations for themselves, right? So let's say that you have content management system, so then you build, I don't know, digital asset management system integration, personalization system integration, email marketing, and so on. But what we also learned over the years is that every integration like that has some limitations, because out-of-the-box integrations typically work for some simpler use cases, but for more complex and advanced use cases, you simply need to go and customize that or do it completely from scratch yourself, right? And this is where you run into the troubles if your budget is limited, and most of the companies in this world, and especially in the economy today, are like that. They have limited budgets, right? So in that case, actually, we believe in a slightly different approach, and that's really what we do and what we bring to the table as a value proposition, that we have really the entire platform, which first of all has many of these tools inside itself, right? So you have content management, email marketing, personalization, and so on, really built inside of one platform, and it's a one product really built by one tool. So I'm not talking about, you know, what some other companies are doing, that they are just acquiring, you know, company after company and then trying somehow to glue it together. we really build the product by one team, with one standard. So if you know how to use one part of the system, you automatically know how to build, how to work with other part of the system, and everything is really integrated. However, the flexibility needs to remain there, right? So what we call our system or our platform is flexible DXP, which means that actually, you start with the platform, you start to really adopt the tool after tool. And then if you realize that actually you want to have like best of breed solution for email marketing, our platform is flexible enough, and there is probably also some out of the box integration out there that you can remove just this one component, and with that best of breed tool. And maybe you realize that after a while you have our platform as a foundation, and then you have a couple other tools, and that's perfectly fine. But you can do that really in the incremental way. So I really do believe more in the quality than quantity, and I don't think that whoever will have the most of the integrations gonna win. It's really more the matter of your approach, and I really believe here that you need to go step by step and incrementally innovate and improve your DXP platform, and that's kind of why we are building our platform in this way.
Yeah, I think after market friendliness and like marketer collaboration, I feel like this is the next big challenge for headless CMSs and DXPs, which is what you just said. Do we build great functionality in-house and sort of risk almost becoming like another suite or monolith, or do we focus more on being flexible and API driven, or do we try to walk the tightrope between the two and balance the two and try to be great at both, which is what it seems like you guys are doing. I think that will sort of decide a lot for customers, I think. And I haven't really got a strong opinion either way, which is the best. But it sounds like you guys have thought it through, and it sounds like probably that's going to be a sort of a popular route. But it's going to be interesting to see where different vendors go with that. So that's super interesting to me. Okay, final question, Dominik. If you could change one thing about the DXP space, what would it be?
Adoption, definitely, because I think that many customers really start with very ambitious project plans, but many of them really stop at content management level and really don't go further. So what I was saying just a second ago, I think that people need to continuously innovate and improve and getting more and more digitally mature. And yes, definitely starting from content modeling, content strategies is probably the best way how to start, but you can't simply stop there. You need to continue in your journey, and you need to continue adopt more and more to really leverage more out of your DXP, because DXPs today are very powerful, and they are way much more than just CMS. While actually origin of many of these DXPs are in CMSs, they really went a long way beyond that. But I think that still clients are not fully leveraging its potential.
That's fair. I think that's a very fair point. Okay, this has been great, super insightful to hear about Kentico's direction, about your thoughts on the DXP space in general. So I really appreciate you giving us the time. And I hope to have you back on again when we're, again, 6 months, 12 months into this new chapter for Kentico. I'm going to be keeping tabs on you guys for sure. What's the best place for people to continue this conversation with you? Do you prefer Twitter, LinkedIn, email?
LinkedIn is probably the best way how to reach out to me. I'm not a big fan of Twitter, to be quite honest. And email, of course. It's dominikp@kentico.com.
Okay, excellent. So talk to Dominik on LinkedIn, not on Twitter. Get that straight. Okay, Dominik, thanks again for your time. Really appreciate it. Okay, I think